Well, hi, Trista. Thank you for coming in today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. So, is there anything that you would like to discuss since this is our first time meeting?
Um, Not really, not, just same old, just work and life.
Okay. Well, on your paper that you sent in, it sounded like that you took a test, and I saw the results. And before I talk about the results that I read, I want to talk about the agenda for today. So first, I'm going to talk to you about what I saw in the results, and then talk to you about cognitive-based therapy, and then we'll set some goals, and then homework, and then we'll follow up and see how everything goes together. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so from the assessment that you took on the paper outside, it mentioned it shows that you have high anxiety. Do you know much about anxiety?
Not really, no. I mean, I see it here and there, and I know certain signs, but not necessarily like the diagnosis and stuff like that. So.
Well, I think as women, as mothers, it's taken lightly, but it's just you have a lot on your plate, and I describe it as sometimes your blood feels like it's boiling, and it should not always feel that way. It's a very real diagnosis, and just like I said earlier, a lot of people don't take it serious, which it is a very serious very illness that needs to be taken care of, or you'll catch yourself leading into depression or overworked or crying, and have you ever had any of those happen to you?
Yeah, I have.
So it's just important to realize what's going on. So that's how we're going to focus on cognitive-based therapy to help you, overcome this and try to get better. So right now, how is your current mood right now?
I'm relaxed right now.
Okay,
so.
great. Well, that's good. So, can you tell me, great that we can talk like this with a relaxed mood. Can you tell me about a time recently when you weren't relaxed, when you were possibly feeling the anxiety?
Probably Friday, I would guess, just like at work, just having a lot going on, and under a deadline in a few days, and it was a ton. Not only that, but outside of work, I have things going on too. Just stressful times, have to make decisions, and everything, just coming soon. Everything is just very soon. So
Right.
yeah.
So I hear you saying that, like at work, there's anxiety going on. So when you feel that anxiety, how do you react?
Usually I try to take a moment, take a moment away and, look outside or take a walk or something like that. But at the same time, sometimes I'm not always able to like get away from the desk. So usually just kind of take a moment and try to breathe. It just seems to build right back up, once you,
Right.
5 seconds goes by, right back in it.
So those are some wonderful, positive things that you do. It sounds like you're mindful and you take walks or you take deep breaths. But when those times that it's gotten control, what are some negative things that possibly happen?
When those don't or
Exactly.
work or whatever,
yes.
I just feel overwhelmed. I end up I'll end up crying, or just trying to. I feel tense, even like in my shoulders and stuff like that. I could feel it physically arise, and yeah, so it just
Okay.
shows up.
Yeah. No, that's our typical signs of anxiety. So I like how you just explained that. You're very good with your words. So you're saying, I'm gonna put it kind of on a chart. So you have work. You have a lot of stuff on your plate. You have work going on, and then there's not enough time in the day, and so you feel the anxiety hit, and then at the end you start crying, and your body hurts, and then you can't do any work.
Right.
So so those are kind of the steps. So we want to change that, and we want to. It's all about, so cognitive-based therapy is how you, it's called self-talk, and how you talk to yourself in your brain. And So when you feel like so much is going on, you would say, you know, I can do this, I need to write it down, and I can accomplish it. But instead, right now, it sounds like you're saying, you know, like, this is too much, I don't know where to even start, I have this, this, and this to do, but it's just so much that that's when the anxiety kicks in. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so what are some goals that you would like to set for yourself?
As far as just work-wise or
Whatever
anything?
you think is the most important goal right now for yourself.
Well, my main goal is to get a house, you know, for my family. That's a big thing, and I only have like a couple of months to make a decision. So I think that's like the biggest thing right now is like trying to find somewhere. Yeah.
So has the anxiety kicked in that situation, thinking about that?
Yes, it has. Especially when, you know, it comes to making that decision, that final decision. That's the hardest part, I think. Just trying to actually go with it and not think of what else may be lacking or something like that. So.
Right. Okay, so this week I want you, as you're focusing on buying the house, I want you to start maybe journaling the times that you feel like the times you see your anxiety level going up, when you have to take those deep breaths, when you have to cry or go for a walk. Even it sounds like you know when to cut it off and go for a walk, but we want to be able to like finish your work, and because you said even when you take those deep breaths, it comes right back. You know, you're back to your work. So I think a good goal is to, when you write down what's going on, figure out what is happening before and what you know what's causing that like time to spike that anxiety. And then when we come back, then we can discuss, you know, some things to change, some ways that you were thinking to yourself. I also want you to write what you were thinking during that time. So with your house, I think a good goal to set is just planning and writing things down. What has been working for you with the house?
I mean, not much. I just, you know, just taking the time and kind of sitting down. And I think one of the things that happened with the last place that I was contemplating was sitting down, writing down my pros and cons, and actually weighing it against, you know, where would I be comfortable at, and knowing myself and knowing, you know, the way that I do things, like where would I not be comfortable, and where could I have some wiggle room at, I guess. So,
right. Well, that's good. Yeah. So why don't we, for the next session, then we'll talk more about your goal about buying the house. But this time I want you to realize how our thoughts really do spark our actions with anxiety. Like, we're thinking this is too much, we can't do it, and that's when our anxiety hits. So I want you to write these things down, and then when we come back, then we can apply these thoughts and how we can turn them around, and then apply that to you buying a house and how hopefully we can calm your nerves. Okay. Do you have any suggestions, or is there anything I missed or did not understand as we were talking?
No, I think that covered a lot. So.
All right. Well, thank you, and I'll see you soon.
All righty. Thank you.